kitchen now. I took a little break from recording because I didn't really want to do some of the things on camera, so I started laundry and I did some of the food prep beforehand. So little catch up on that. I just washed some bell peppers and I blended up some of my oats for my porridge. Specifically, I did 1 cup of the Farmers from Farmers We Know of their sprouted rolled oats. These are really great. They have a lot of really good fiber and protein in them, and they're gluten free, and so they're really great. I blended these up with a mixture of 1/3 cup of quick boil farro from Trader Joe's and 1/4 cup of this ancient harvest medley, which includes quinoa, buckwheat, millet, what is that? Chia seeds, amaranth, teff, all organic sort of good things that are really good to add in. These didn't really blend up well, and they usually don't because they're too small, but I do put them in the blender to try to help kind of somewhat break up some of it, and also just help make the cooking process faster. I've added it into this pot already, if you can see it here, along with a 1.5 cups of water and 1.5 cups of our homemade cashew milk. We store it in reused Khalifa Farms bottles. So my dad usually prefers almond milk, and we don't make the almond milk, so we usually just pre-store it in that because 1 whole container from our MeMoo makes almost an entire bottle of the cashew milk. So that's in there. I'm going to add some salt, so a couple pinches of pink Himalayan salt. And now I'm just going to go ahead and let that go on low for about 10 minutes, and then I'll check it and I'll give it a stir. I usually give it about 10 minutes in between stirs, just so that way it goes. This recipe, because it does involve ancient grains plus the oats, takes a little while to cook. You really want to make sure the ancient grains are cooked and the oats are thoroughly cooked. These tend to cook up a little faster than these guys. But the point of this is to make more like a porridge than an oatmeal, so that is easier for my body to digest during the chemotherapy, and also easier on my stomach. We'll be making, you could do like different flavors with it. This is just the base. I'm going to be making an add-in with you here in a few minutes that includes peanut butter, banana, and some spices. For right now, I'm going to go ahead and real quick go put these back in our pantry, and then I'll be right back. Alright, so because my recipe calls for so much cashew milk, 1.5 cups, plus I use it in my latte, and my dad uses it in his lattes, and so does my mother, and so does my husband. We kind of go through a lot of that cashew milk on porridge or oatmeal days, so I usually have to make a brand new batch right afterwards. This is from the MeMoo manual and recipe book. I completely forgot to grab this before. We pull the recipe from here. This is their cashew milk recipe. What we do is that instead of putting them in and soaking them in the MeMoo pot, we actually let them soak for about an hour in a cup of hot water, plus we allow the dates that we're going to put in, and I put 2 very large dates. I'll show you the bag for those here in a minute. In as well with the cashews, and we let this soak on its own for about like an hour, and then we pour out the water and we pour the remaining cashews and the dates into the MeMoo, and then we add the water because it does need cold water to run, not this warm water. And we find that it just creates a creamier and almost less pulp version of the milk, and we really like it that way. I'll also be adding in a little bit of this tea cut Vietnamese cinnamon that we got from Oaktown. You'll be hearing a lot about Oaktown from me. I'm going to be linking them on the website. This has become a small batch spicery shop that is local to where I live, and they also are able for purchase online, and they're absolutely fabulous. I'll be talking about them like crazy because their spices have become like a staple in my life. So this also goes, just a little bit of this also goes into the milk to kind of give it some flavoring. Right now, I'm gonna go ahead and get started on cutting and peeling the bell peppers, and then we'll keep checking on the porridge. Okay, so why am I cutting and peeling bell peppers? I'm cutting and peeling them because with colon cancer, one of the things is making food, like I said, easily digestible. And bell pepper skins, when eating them raw, can be actually hard to fully chew and create it more like almost like a truly like paste like food in your mouth, and it's kind of gross. Um, but by simply taking the bell pepper and actually peeling them and using just the meat of it, you take away that factor and you actually get a softer, more easily chewed vegetable that is raw. And I'm not supposed to be having a whole lot of raw vegetables on this with my cancer. But this is just one way I found, oh, I can still have raw vegetables and make them easily digestible for my system, which is really important to me because I like to bite on things. I like to have a good crunch. So we found like peeled and seeded cucumbers, so like we de-seed them and we peel them, and then bell peppers are really easy for me to use as like dips for like hummus, bean dips, other ones we make, especially now for me because that is kind of like a good snack. I talked about artichokes last night because that was what I was prepping last night, and those are also really good. But they are cooked and they're not as like they're not like a chip, like they don't have that crunch, which is what I miss. And that's where the bell peppers come in. They do have that crunch. They have that nice little snap to it. So I find it easier when I'm doing this to actually pre-cut my bell peppers into fourths. I did waste the tops, which because I went into mode of how do I cut this when I am cutting for cooking, not for when I'm cutting to snack on. So this orange one, unfortunately, that was my bad. That was a little wasteful. But they're still gonna give me good pieces. So I'll peel them once they're cut like this because I find it's easier to get around the corners because of these little indents with my peeler. It is hard to peel these guys when they have those little crevices. So I just find this is a little bit easier. It gives me a little bit more control. So I'm gonna just sit here and peel and cut my bell peppers so that way I could use them for snacks. A lot of my chemo treatment, so I'm on FOLFOX, which is a combination of two treatments. One is done in the infusion center, one I take home. If you're like me and you love the F-bomb, to say the one that I take home is actually called 5FU, and I thought that was hilarious. The pharmacist was a little taken back by the fact that I giggled every time he said it, just because that's my personality. But one of the things is I can't have cold foods on it. It can cause esophageal seizing, and same thing with the one in the infusion center. So bell peppers can be brought to room temperature and be eaten at room temperature. They don't have to be cold. And so we're able to actually toll these out of the refrigerator, give them some time to warm up at room temp, and then I could still be able to eat these while I am on my chemotherapy. The hope with this is that while I'm on the chemotherapy, I don't develop the symptom of metallic taste because I don't want my food to taste like metal. However, if it does, bell peppers I'm not too worried about. They're not exactly like my favorite food. If I end up getting disgusted by them, I probably won't care in the long run. I may need them and hopefully I can like bounce back from them and still eat them on the normal week. It's just more about being cautious about, again, what I'm putting into my body, especially during the treatments. And recovery in the weeks where I'm off the treatment, where I get time to actually just be normal and function, hopefully without too many symptoms remaining, I should be fine. I should be back to normal. So I'm just going to sit here and keep peeling my bell peppers and get these all prepped and checking on the porridge for now. Okay, I'm going to be pausing from doing the bell peppers that I'm bagging up here, and we'll talk about those in a little bit. And I'm going to start working on the bananas because the porridge is now at the point where it's ready for me to go into those next steps. So that includes adding in my flavoring. So first thing I'm going to do is mash up 2 pretty ripe bananas in a bowl. Now, one thing that kind of sucks is that this would be really great if you can add some sort of like vanilla extract. However, because with certain cancers, the goal is to avoid alcohols, and this means even certain cooking alcohols at times, just because it's really harsh on our systems, and we really want to promote liver, kidney health to help heal our body. And those are 2 organs that we really need to be top functioning when we're healing from cancer treatments. Chemo, all of them, we just kind of need those body parts to be on their top shape. So I would really love to be able to add like maybe vanilla bean to this or something, but I don't have that right now. So we're really just gonna be focusing on the banana as the flavor. I like to think of this kind of as like a banana bread sort of oatmeal porridge thing. I'm just gonna really mash up my bananas super well here, and then what I'm gonna do is start adding some spices. Sometimes I like to take shortcuts on my spices because I'm really lazy and I don't want to have to deal with always mixing and measuring. So probably what I'm actually going to do today, because I'm kind of just want to get this over with, is I'm going to add in pumpkin spice, pre-done pumpkin spice. It has a lot of warm spices in it and it's really good. I'll add some extra ginger to it to give it a nice little umph, and I'll probably also add a little bit, I'm kind of in debates on it, of turmeric because of the anti-inflammatory properties. But I'm having a lot of turmeric and everything else, I think, this week, so I'm probably going to skip it and just really focus on those warm spices. All right, almost done. Last half of the banana getting smushed. So the reason why I don't put this in while the oatmeal is baking like I do other fruits, like when I do this with apple, I tend to actually cook the apple with the porridge, and that kind of helps flavors the porridge, is because I find that banana, when you put it into that much liquid and how it cooks down, just doesn't taste good to me, and it doesn't hold itself up well. So I'd rather just mash it and add it in towards the end along with all my other ingredients. So there is our mashed banana. I'm going to go ahead and start adding in the other things. So pumpkin spice. So these are just cinnamon, let's see, what is it? Cinnamon, ginger, lemon peel, nutmeg, cloves, and cardamom. So it has everything I wanted. I don't even have to add ginger, it's in there. I'm gonna add probably about a tablespoon worth, maybe a little over. Eventually I'll write this down in a recipe and post it on the blog, and I'll have actual measurements, but I'm kind of like one of those people, and so is my mom, where we measure with our hearts. And our taste buds, so we don't always know the exact measurements of spices we put in things, because we tend to change it. Like, I've already changed the oatmeal recipe just a little bit. I had to add some extra water for this porridge because I noticed that the amount of liquid I added was really quickly absorbed by everything that was truly fully blended, but then some of the grains that didn't truly blend out or become powder weren't actually absorbing as much as the liquid as needed. So I had to add some to it. Now I'm also going to be adding date syrup. So with my cancer, like I talked about yesterday, it's okay to have sugars. It's okay to have like bread and stuff, but we want to try to avoid processed sugars. So my sugar sources and my sweet sources really come from dates, honey, and sometimes maple syrup, but it has to be really high grade maple syrup, and we kind of need to know the location it came from in the factory. We're really kind of careful with that just because of the processing. But I really like date syrup. This is really great. It's pretty much just made from dates. And it's not like, I'm not saying it's not processed. This is definitely a processed sweetener, but it is a better form of sweetener, and it still has vitamins and good things. I still eat whole dates. One of my favorite snacks is a whole date with some peanut butter. But this is just a really great way to add like that caramely sweetness that you would want to get from a banana bread that you usually get from like that brown sugar, without having the brown sugar in there. It's really great. So I added that in here, and now it kind of looks like this syrupy, dark, rich mess. It smells so good, just this. honestly, I'm tempted just to eat this with some bread, but I won't. Uh, so that's the sweetener I'm using. I'm also going to now add in some other things. I'm going to pour in the last bit of the cashew milk I have because I have it and I might as well. I'm also going to add flax seeds, which is a really great nutrition for adding in some fiber and also adding in some other vitamins and nutrition to the porridge. I'm going to add just a little bit of almond powder. I was going to do peanut butter in this, but I have this huge bag of almond meal that I mix into smoothies, and because smoothies aren't going to be something I consume right now on the daily because I can't have cold foods, I'm going to add some of that in there, and I'm also going to add some collagen peptides. It's great to get collagen from other sources of food, especially if you are able to have like bone broths or you can eat meat products, but because I can't, and it's kind of hard to get collagen always in my diet, I find that I just like adding this in. This is a beef source, so it's not vegan, but again, I'm not 100% vegan. I'm just trying to be more plant-based and eat as many plant-based foods as possible. I do still eat like 3 eggs a week, 1 4-ounce serving of wild-caught salmon a week, if I can. Some weeks I don't have salmon at all or any sort of other protein other than the 3 eggs because I'm not giving up eggs. But this is the other one where it is animal sourced, and I just really like it. 20 grams of collagen peptides. It's great for your skin, hair, nails, joints. If you have blood vessel issues like I do with the descending aorta, collagen is also really great for your blood vessels. It helps builds up the blood vessel walls to make them stronger. So I also add that in. I've been using this one for years. This is Wild Protein. Again, not sponsored by any company you see here. Just these are what I use. Alrighty. So I'm gonna go add these in. I don't have measurements for them. Again, I kind of measure with my heart what I'm feeling. Okay, so the porridge is officially done. I'm just gonna let it sit for about probably an hour or two on the oven and still be warm. The reason why I am doing this is because with this porridge, again, we really want everything to kind of like absorb all those liquids and become super soft and really digestible. And I just want some of those seeds and things that are in there to really absorb it. And it also, with the flax seeds, it comes really like kind of like sticks together better, and it just comes a better consistency when I do this. So I'm just gonna let it sit there for about an hour or two and let it slowly come to temperature to the room before I go ahead and I start packing it away for storage. So I'm gonna continue now with the bell peppers. While I was sitting there cutting up and the porridge was cooking, I was able to get through 2 of them. I separate them by fourths, so 1/4 of a bell pepper to a bag of each color. So I end up with cute little bags of tri-color bell pepper slices. And I get 4 servings of this, which is great for a week, because then I'll also have some with cucumber. And then I'll also, like I said, have some with the artichoke. So I don't tend to do those all on one plate. I tend to like split them up into different servings. Okay, so peeled, slicing them up now. This is kind of what they end up looking like. You can kind of see the meat. They're still super thick, so they're great for dipping, like I said. I'm gonna just slice these up really quick, finish packing them into their baggies. I do my best to try to split this up into equal fourths, but it's not always the case, and that's okay because some days I'm super hungry, other days I'm not. So we could just kind of feel the bags like, oh, this one's on the smaller side. Let's grab this bag today, which is great. Other days I'm like starving and I will eat almost like an entire red bell pepper, if not half a bell pepper to this. And it's a lot of food in the end. But yeah, so it gives me a little bit leeway options. All right, now that I'm kind of done with the food prep, essentially, I'm done. For now. I'm gonna go ahead and pause and finish cleaning up the kitchen. I'm not gonna film during that portion, and finish flipping the laundry and doing some more laundry. And then I will see you to finish setting up my little chemo recovery nest. That's my dog Yoshi. You'll eventually meet him. He's adorable and perfect. Okay. Hey everyone. So we are actually in my little recovery and cancer chemo nook now. It's where I'm going to be staying after treatment and where I'll probably be recovering for a few days. We're going to go ahead and give you a quick tour. I have my dogs here with me about what it looks like, and then I'm going to go ahead and start prepping it. So here we have a medical grade chair. This chair is a recliner and it also stands fully up. That remote that we have here, if you look at the buttons, this one fully allows you to stand up, and we do get almost access to fully lay down. It does have really great cushions on it, so I could sit there for a long time. Has a series of 3 blankets, including a heating blanket, one of my favorite ones from a friend, Sarah. And then if you see that little pink one sticking out, that is one of my childhood blankets that my grandparents made for me. Over here, we have a little side table. This is just for drinks and stuff. It's general storage. Down there, I do have a yoga block and some bands to help me stretch with, just so I could still get some movement in. And then this is where my husband will be sitting, but currently my dog Yoshi, like I told you, you'd meet him later, is grooming himself on and just cuddling. We have this great table here. This is a medical grade eating table, side table. I'll be doing work on here. I'll be eating from here. It moves, it rolls really easily. So I'm really excited that we have this. And back here we have my little arts and crafts nook, so that way I could stand up and do some things. It's pretty simple ones. Legos, we're a huge Lego family. We have tons of them. So I have both floral Legos and some set Legos that we're gonna be building. On the very bottom, I also have some yarn that I'll be hand knitting at some point. I have my little journal station. I'll also put my computer and things here. I have headphones. And then in the very back, we just kind of have random storage. I've put thank you cards over there and some other random things that haven't quite found a home yet for. So this is going to be just my whole entire recovery area. Oh, and there's our tiny little puppy. Say hi. Oh, he's just so fluffy. So that's that. I do like the fact that I do have this French door system here. It's gonna be really great to open and get some fresh air. We can close off the blinds during the light when the light is coming directly in, because you should avoid direct sunlight. But this does give me the option to have fresh air during my treatment. And if you see there, I have direct access to the kitchen, and over here, I'll have direct access to the restroom. In this trash bag, which is part of what you're gonna see when I'm prepping this area, this is actually a removable dog crate. So we can set it up like an L shape and kind of block off the area, only because since I'm gonna be bringing home some of my chemo for treatment, and these two love to cuddle and jump all over me, we're gonna be kind of locking them out away from me just for their own safety and for mine during treatment. Okay, so let's go ahead and get into actually cleaning the space. Okay, so we're here in the downstairs bathroom. This is going to be my bathroom. We set up this nightstand that we had. It was a spare one upstairs so that it has all of my things. That on the top, it will have like my toothpaste, toothbrush, lotion, some face stuff, and that sort of deal. And then as we go down, you see in the little cubby, we're actually storing some of my neuropathy and my cold caps for now. This is where they'll go when they're not in the freezer, so that way it's just easily located. The top drawer is going to be my clothes. I'm not really going to show that because, you know, my clothes. But I pretty much just bring down the amount of undergarments, some of my comfortable socks, like my soft non-slip socks, and the rompers I'll be wearing for both day and night. And I'll talk about that a little bit in the infusion video. And then at the very bottom, I'm going to use my foot. Actually, no, we're going to use my hand because it's not working with my slippers. You see we have some feminine products, and we'll also have cleaning products and extra gloves down here. Just that way we can go ahead and make sure we have enough supplies for me. Alrighty, and then toilet, of course. Up here you see we actually have all of my medical supplies and extra wipes if needed. These are kind of like the ones that are allowed. I have my nausea meds, my heart meds, and then some lidocaine cream that goes over my port on the morning of before we go in. And I also have 3 packs of wipes. 2 of them are body wipes because showering with a port is kind of difficult. And then, of course, we also have one that is an extra face wipe for me. So that's kind of like the basics. We have some paper towels up there in case anything happens. But yeah, that's sort of the basic setup for the bathroom. And this is what we're going to be doing for pretty much the entire time I will be on chemo treatments.
Okay, so we have made it to the point where I'm done with all of my house prep. My cooking's done, the space that I'll be staying in has been cleaned, and the bathroom's all set up. And that's kind of it for the house. Now it's back time to focus on me. I'm not going to start it now. My dad and I are going to go do a walk first. My mental and emotional health kind of started with a date night with my husband on day 1 of my prep. So tonight I'm going to be focusing more on me and doing some self-care. I started this morning by having my mom help me put up a really tight braid with this hair mask. So we put it all in my hair. This is by Sunbum. They are one of the brands that my team has recommended for me. So I snagged their hair mask to try. So we'll see how this goes. Again, not sponsored by any products, just putting out there what the team has helped me choose and things that I found. So we put it up, we braided it so that way it gets a good, nice hydration on, and it's up and kind of out of my way today. Um, then I'll follow that up with later on today, like I said, a walk with my dad here in a little bit. We generally go for walks together. So we'll go and we'll do a nice little walk and we'll get some fresh air and enjoy myself because for the next few days, we don't know if I'll be able to really walk all that much. And I generally walk about 2 to 3 miles a day is what we're hoping to get to right now. Afterwards, I'll come home and I will take a shower where I'll wash my hair and my body with the port currently where it's at in the healing with this sterile strip still on. I actually can't take very long showers. I'm still only about 10-15 minutes. So we're really just going to focus on doing a quick wash of the body and washing my hair and like not doing like a deep soak. Normally, I would probably want to do more of a deep soak and take a little bit extra time, maybe use one of a steam pack. Just can't do it yet until these are all fully off and the area is fully healed. Um, After the shower, though, I will be doing some face masks. So the mask I have a couple different ones. I'm going to be doing a pre-care regimen and a post-care regimen after my infusion. So we'll talk about the post one afterwards. And I haven't really decided what I'm going to do for my hands and feet yet. I One of the things that happens with chemotherapy and the regimen I'm on is that it can result in what's called hand and foot syndrome, where essentially your hands and your feet start to really crack and blister and can get really painful. So before a chemotherapy treatment, I want to go ahead and do a deep treatment on my hands and feet. So I got a couple options. I just went to Target. I got the Kibella options here, which is a collagen hand mask and then an intensive foot mask for soothing and moisturizing. I have these two. Or we also saw that Aquifer, and I love Aquifer. I have tattoos, so I've been using Aquifer as a hydration source for years and a protective barrier level. I have their new, same thing, hydration for feet and for hands. Haven't decided which ones I want to do pre or post. I'm thinking I might do Aquifer for pre just because I really like their things and it is like a good system. And I've used it for so long. But I don't know, maybe I will use these. I'm thinking these might be more aftercare ones. Um, I'm going to also be doing a face mask, of course, to calm myself and my face down. Um, I'm going to be using, I think, first the hydration mask and then the calming mask. Again, I haven't chosen, but I just chose Burt's Bees. Again, a brand I have a pretty good reliability with using and that I've used for years. So just one of these two. They both work really well on my skin. They cause no irritations. I've used them before. I kind of know them. Thinking maybe hydration before, calming after, but haven't decided yet, but one of these ones will be going on. And then I have two sets of eye masks. Now, one of these I just want to show you going into infusions because I'm probably not going to remember to show them, but these ones are amazing. So when my mom had an aneurysm a few years back, we got these for her because they actually go directly over the whole eye and they moisturize the whole area in your eye. They kind of serve as like the cucumbers from the spas. They're really gentle on your skin. They're really nice. Thinking one is like these are going to be definitely used during my infusion and post fusion, and possibly pre-fusion because they can go on top of any sheet mask as well and be used on the eye during that time. They last about the same amount of time. And then one I am actually using tonight before I go to bed is this self-warming starry eye mask. Again, I got these at Target. And they can also be ordered online. These are fantastic. They come in a bunch of different brands. I've only used a couple of them. I just really like it. It's really great for like migraines or tension and just really taking that self. I tend to put them on when I'm getting ready to like literally go to sleep because they just kind of help my face and my body and my mind kind of relax. They're really great. So I'll be using this for sure tonight. Um, so that's kind of like my self-care plan to do that final little push. I'll get up tomorrow morning, of course, and I'll get ready and we'll actually be in on infusion time, which will be its own video set. So thank you for taking the time to watch and get prepped with me. Hopefully some of the things I have done help you. And if you do something different that you think could help me, please reach out and let me know. Again, this is all about building community and I'm just sharing things that I hope work for me. And who knows, maybe round two we'll realize some of this isn't really quite working. And maybe we need to take a different approach. Maybe there's other things we realized are more important. So there's always going to be tweaks and changes, but this is my starting point, and I hope you've learned something from it to help you if you're just getting started, or if you want to share what you've learned from your experiences, that'd be great. All right, well, thank you, and here's to living and thriving with cancer.